Welcome everybody to our weekly market update here in Kingborough. I've got Lee and Nick with me today. How are we, guys?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah, a bit windy today out there. I think we're at risk of being part of New Zealand by this afternoon. Yeah. I think with how much wind's coming today. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be a bit of a front and a bit of rain overnight coming through. So what's the market been like in sales, I guess, over the week? I want to talk about buyers in particular, since we talked last week about a bit of an uptick with some of the volume of people through the doors. What are the ones that are not buying saying, and what are they wanting that isn't in the market at the moment? I suppose is something I wanted to touch on, because it's good that we're getting more buyers again, and that's a sign that the market's probably changing. But why are they not buying, and what's their main feedback? Lee, I might throw that one to you.
Look, I think the handbrake with interest rates at the moment, people are still, I think, waiting for that next drop. That's going to be nice for people. But
Okay.
I've seen a change in habits with people coming through property, so numbers seem to be back up on open homes again.
Yep.
There's a range of properties I guess, seeming attractive to people. With first home buyers, they seem to be kicking off again as a thing. So
Yep.
2-bedroom units, those lower price bracket properties, so the first home buyers, 500, 600K.
Yep.
They're really attractive for people.
Yep.
I think there's still good interest in the 3 and 4 bedroom homes.
Mm-hmm.
Some people are making some changes. There's, I guess, a little bit of interest in properties where people want to renovate.
Yep.
That's still attractive. Older properties, perhaps with a little bit more land.
Yep. Okay.
And this week we've had a few properties under offer, I guess.
Yeah.
I've also had interest on, I guess, a fairly exclusive property, the one I have at Steen Court.
Yep.
That's quite unique, I guess, and not everyone's going to inquire about that property on a regular basis.
So you get inquiries right throughout all the price ranges.
Yeah.
And so it sounds like affordability is probably, from listening to that, might be a common thing across all with the interest rates.
I
For
think
people
so.
if it's affordable, they're jumping on it, and if it's not, they're sort of weighing things up. So
yeah, I guess also in the background with, from a personal experience as well, with banks are approaching people now with lower interest rates and people are refinancing.
Yep.
There's a little bit more of that activity. So
Yep.
absolutely, it's affordability.
Yep.
Things are more affordable.
Yeah, I think that's right. Those 5-year, longer term sort of loans, the banks are factoring in that things are going to be at this level or cheaper now. So they're certainly seeing those come down compared to a year or two ago, where those long-term ones are thinking, I might keep going up forever. So that's sort of shifting around a bit. But okay. What sort of numbers have we been having at the opens this weekend?
Well, I didn't have many open homes this weekend. Den and I
sold them all last week.
Yeah, we've got conditional contracts on a number of properties.
Yeah.
Some of them have fallen through, but we're working very hard to bring them back to life.
Yeah.
But basically, what I wanted to generally speak about was a little bit of a property clock, just in regards to how the market's cycles, and I might show some people. I've got a little brochure here that I would like to point to you guys, and please butt in if you think I'm
so
wrong,
with this, while we're talking, if anyone wants to message us on here, Nick's more than happy to email this through to you guys, or Lee can, like it's something
how it all kind of works there.
So
we've got a little bit of a property clock there, and basically this is the market cycle. So you've got, it runs off supply and demand, as you can obviously see. Certain markets, you've got an upswing in the market, and then you've got a downturn, and then you've got a stagnation and then a recovery period. Yeah, that's basically how the market works. For example, places like, let's just say Mackay or the Gold Coast, Brisbane, anywhere like that, on a massive upswing at the moment. Heaps of demand for those properties and probably not enough supply.
Mm-hmm.
I would certainly imagine.
Different market Victoria's moving up there.
Yeah, definitely. So, and obviously people in the Kingborough and Huon Valley, and particularly in Tasmania in general, we're probably seeing a little bit more of a downturn or a stagnation period in our market at the moment. However, what I would like to say is we have had a number of people through open homes, particularly under that 750,000 price range, obviously because of the interest rates. But as what the team's kind of projecting, maybe stepping into spring and summer, and then early seasons of next year when interest rates do drop, we'll see a recovery period for Hobart and Huon Valley and Kingston and things like that.
Yeah. So on the property clock, it's pretty close to the bottom of the cycle.
Yeah, well, this is for August. Obviously,
Yeah.
we're in August now, heading into September, but I would say we're in a stagnation period, probably hitting the bottom, and then very shortly we will see a recovery period, hopefully more into a seller's market. So
Yeah. So if you want to get all the detail on that,
Yeah.
like Nick just mentioned, Queensland in there, we can email that through to you because it's actually got all around Australia. So if you've got investment properties or other properties around the country, that's going to give you some insights into where each market is. And it's also, if you're thinking of moving interstate or coming from interstate, sometimes looking at this and timing it, talking to our agents here where they can say, well, that market's ahead of us or that's behind us in the cycle. Is it better to sell this one first or that one first? And you could be $100,000, $200,000 better off by looking at the cycles and doing things at the right time, sort of thing. So yeah. What else has been happening? You've had a couple last week. We touched on some really busy open homes that you had.
So obviously we are, sorry to interrupt there. We are obviously I said we're in a bit of a bottom period of the market, but certainly when properties are priced correctly, or there's maybe in certain suburbs in Hobart, you're still seeing that there's probably a bit more demand than other areas. So particularly in South Hobart, as I mentioned last week, we had 70 people through the open home, which was outstanding. I don't think we've ever seen those numbers before, only probably during COVID times. But just running off the stats as of today, basically throughout this whole campaign with Marlon Rowe, we've had over 6,000 people view the listing on real estate, just on realestate.com alone.
Yep.
And then 260 people have saved that listing as well. And then we've had a combination of 33 SMS and phone calls, and then 24 email inquiries as well. So we've had
that's the sample. So all of our owners get these reports every week, and there's the data available for us to consider. That's certainly a very appealing numbers. That's probably looking at those sort of numbers. That's probably what listings we're getting in 2020, I guess, in the market when it was like that 2021. So that's a really good campaign where a lot of properties might have 3 or 6 email inquiries for the whole campaign sort of thing, and a lot less views than that. So certainly that's a really outstanding one. So I guess that's something, if you want to talk to the guys about how you get your property to do that, then that's certainly, they can go through these reports in detail and explain that. And we do send those out weekly with all of that information to you, so you can assess it when you're on the market. But it's probably more in that lead up to coming into the market as to going, okay, what can we expect? And by looking at a few of the other similar type properties and how the numbers on those campaigns go, you can start to anticipate what's going to happen with offers and inquiries and all those sort of things on the property. So what have we got coming up this week? Got any new properties?
We have a few properties coming on. So we talk about Hobart Market. I've just got one coming on in North Hobart. So
Okay.
that's I think a property that will get some attention.
Yeah.
We've got a couple of games. The spring rush is on, I think that's fair to say.
Feels like spring. The weather it's windy and warm. Not winter anymore.
We've got a couple coming up in Blackens-Bay, Kingston too. So they've been signed. We're just waiting some final finishing touches.
Yeah.
And vendors, I guess, have a particular focus at the moment. They want to put their properties on around about mid-September, October. So stand by for that one, guys. We've got properties. We're just holding back a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to hit the market soon.
Yeah. So if there's some people out there, keen buyers who'd like to know what's coming up before it hits the market, reach out to these guys. They can let you know each week before things hit the market, so you can get a jump on the rest of the world for a couple of days ahead as we're finding out some of that information and get on the email and text lists and those sort of things. So
I'll just add 2 more there as well.
Yeah.
Particularly wanted to highlight 14 Athena Drive, Ristenvale. So that's only just come on the market yesterday. That's a 600 square metre block, 100 square metre home, very simple living, 3 bedroom, one bathroom and a car. car garage. That's going to be priced at 580, and I particularly think it's going to be awesome for first home buyers. Even if people are stuck in a rent cycle, things like the My Home scheme would be really good as well to look into. I don't know how much we can say particularly about the My Home scheme, but I just mentioned that. And then for Oxley's Court in Kettering, it's just come up on the market as well. For offers over 735.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
A bit of variety out there
There
across a few
is,
different
so,
suburbs. So yeah. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everyone. We've kept you on for a little while today, so hopefully there's some value there for you. Again, reach out, send a message on here, or just give us a call in the office, and these guys can go through any of that in further detail with you, one-on-one at any time.
Thanks, guys.
Adios.
Thank you.